Yo, if you could real quick, hit that like and that subscribe and notification bells if you'd like, but it'd help out. Thank you. All right, get. Let's get after this Saturday. Yo, what is goody? I'm jumping back in here to the Sermon on the Mount. Just a little recap on yesterday. I kind of went off on anxiety, and just to kind of polish it off. I feel like we're in a place in society where we have so many issues because we want to sit there and we want to focus on it. We want to sit there and focus on our problems and talk about it over and over and over again. It's like almost like we give it gives us a some kind of status or whatever. Like, oh, I have anxiety, I have this, I have that, and it's like it almost makes it I feel like it makes it worse. When here in the gospel message here, it's like, focus on Jesus, man. If we focus on Jesus more than our problems, man, we become more like Jesus. But if we just focus on our problems, man, those problems build and build and build and build, and it just eats you up, man. It consumes you. Let's focus on Jesus and become more like Jesus, and He will transform our hearts and our minds. And so that's my personal feeling on that. So okay. So here we go. We go to judging others. All right. Judge not, that you be not judged. For with the judgment you pronounce, you will be judged. And with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. Why do you see the speck that is in your brother's eye, but do not notice the log that is in your own eye? Or how can you say to your brother, let me take the speck out of your eye when there is a log in your own eye? You hypocrite, first take the log out of your own eye, then you will see clearly to take the speck out of your brother's eye. So let's take care of ourselves. Let's work on ourselves before we call our brothers to repentance. Let's make sure we're walking in holiness. Do not give dogs what is holy. Do not throw your pearls before swine, lest they trample them underfoot and turn to attack you. There you go. And as we keep going back, we keep going through. I was looking back at that. We're looking at the Ten Commandments, right? This is all just kind of reiterating Jesus reiterating the law here. When He's expanding on it, and He's getting to the heart of it. We go to Isaiah, where He's like, He's talking about how, all these sacrifices and all these gifts and all these burnt offerings and stuff, they mean nothing if it's, if you're not coming with a pure heart. So, and then, Jesus jumps back, and it's almost like, dude, I've been talking to you guys about this forever. When He goes and cleanses the temple, right? He's like throwing over the money changers' tables. Ask and it'll be given. Ask and it'll be given to you. Seek, you will find. Knock and it will be open to you. For everyone who seeks also receives, and the one who seeks finds, and the one who knocks it will be open. Or which one of you, if his son asks him for bread, will give him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, will give him a serpent? If you then, who are evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, evil, He's calling everybody evil. Those unsaved and us with sinful hearts. If you then, who are evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father who is in heaven give good things to those who ask? Right? So, it's, us as humans, we know we give good things to our kids, right? Like, I mean, I'm not going to give my 3-year-old a chainsaw because he asked for it, But even more so, our Heavenly Father, he will gift us what he feels we need and when we need it, and let's just not and not even like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of these health and wealth and prosperity guys kind of miss the point. God's going to give us what's good for us, what's good for our salvation, what's good for our soul, what's good for us to become more and more like Jesus, like the Son. Yeah, just remember, he's not some cosmic vending machine, man. It's not like you do things and ask and he's going to give, It's whatever he feels, I mean, the majority of folks, you look at these prosperity gospels, man, and shoot, man, when God turns people over to their lustful desires, with the money and the fame and all that, man, that's usually it's not a good thing, man. That's not you start praising yourself and not the one who gives. And a lot of times, the enemy uses that, and that's the HOV lane to hell right there, man. When we get the things we want. That's why, there's other religions. You got, I'll be a little controversial. You got Islam that wants, oh yeah, man, we can go to heaven, man. We got the virgins. We got all these, humanly desires. You got the Mormons, where it's this, when you die, like you become your own god. It's these like fleshly things that sound good to us, right? It's these carnal desires, when it's like we get God, man. We get to be in His presence forever. That's like any other religion that tries to sell you on other things and not you get to spend eternity with God and be in His presence. Like, their view of God, that's a weak God, that you don't want to spend eternity in His presence. That our God is so wonderful and amazing. This new world, this new sinless, new earth that He's creating. That this is what we're preparing for, right? Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves. You will recognize them by their fruits. Are grapes gathered from thorn bushes, or figs from thistles? So every healthy tree bears good fruit, but the diseased tree bears bad fruit. A healthy tree cannot bear bad fruit, and nor can a diseased tree bear good fruit. Every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. Thus you will recognize them by their fruit. And he keeps going after the heart, man. This, beware of these false prophets. Beware of people that go after to fleece the flock, to these ministries that demand your tithe and your giving because you're sowing your seed and it's going to be given back to you. No, the reason these people are wealthy is because they're conning old ladies out of their Social Security, because they think they're going to help them out. Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven, but the one who does the will of my Father who is in heaven. On that day will say to me, Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name and cast out demons in your name and do many mighty works in your name? And then I'll declare to him, I never knew you. Depart from me, you workers of lawlessness. And I think it kind of goes back to the same, man. It's, these people going after for selfish, or selfish, earthly gain, man. It's all right. You're gonna get your reward here on Earth. Cool, man. You're gonna get the big house, the nice cars, this, and that. But this is such on the scale of eternity. This little bit on life versus eternity. Gosh, man, it's worth it to sell your soul, right? Everyone who hears these words of mine and does them will be like a wise man who built his house on the rock, and the rain fell and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat on the house, but it did not fall because it had been founded on the rock. And everyone who hears these words of mine and does not do them will be like a foolish man who built his house on sand. And the rain fell and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat against the house, and it fell. And the great was the fall of it. So it comes crashing down. It's like, man, are you going to build your life on Jesus, man, or are you going to build your life on all of these other things? It's like it's not Jesus and some stuff, right? It's Jesus. When you think about it, it's like the same idea. Like, you're building I don't know if you've done concrete, but you're laying a slab. It's like, you do too much water, not enough mix, not the right thickness, your forms are messed up, they're not leveled, you don't have the right amount of, you don't got the, the wrought iron in there, for the forms to keep everything together when things shake. It's that same idea, you gotta take the right steps, right? To use that, for that slab to build on top of. So build that, get that mix right, man. You got prayer, you got humility, consistency, building that discipline, man. So and then that, let it sit and let it cure and all that in quiet, at the right time, and with patience and humility. And hey, be careful, man, you're gonna be in trouble. Give me that. And not boastfully and with a bunch of ego. It's it's the same thing as bodybuilding, man. You think about the right tempo, the right form, you're getting the sleep, the right movement. You're not just going and grabbing the biggest weight you can and slinging it around, for this, just to look big. It takes a while for that muscle to grow, and it takes time and consistency. It's not fast, if you're doing it right. You're eating well, you're sleeping well. It's consistency and hard work, man. It's building that strong foundation, so you're not, and staying humble. It's not, running around throwing weight around and that guy in the gym who hasn't made any gains, right? But he's walking around with his chest bumped and comparing himself to everybody else, So, but yeah, build your faith on that rock. And dads, that's huge, in our houses and our homes, and taking care of our wives and our kids, and we're setting that example. So, well, that's it. Have a good weekend, guys. God bless. Love you.